Love and power, two forces that cannot coexist without one destroying the other. Machiavelli saw it centuries ago. The most dangerous trap in politics isn't hate, it's affection. He wrote that rulers fall not because their enemies outwit them, but because their hearts are conquered. So today, we dive into Machiavelli's darkest warning. Never trust love in politics, because behind every kiss of loyalty, there's always a blade waiting to strike. In The Prince, Machiavelli says it plainly. Men are ungrateful, fickle, false, cowardly, covetous. They love when it suits them and betray when it benefits them. To him, love was not a virtue to trust, but a weapon to use. He watched rulers destroyed not by war, but by affection that made them weak. The moment a ruler seeks to be loved more than feared, Machiavelli wrote, he hands his enemies the keys to his downfall, because love is voluntary, and anything that depends on others' hearts can be taken away in an instant. Machiavelli admired one man above all, Cesare Borgia, a prince who rose to power through cunning, fear, and calculated cruelty. Borgia understood that alliances made of love, flattery, promises, family ties were fragile. He used affection as a mask, never a chain. He smiled while plotting. He hugged while ordering deaths. When his allies began to waver, he didn't plead. He purged. Machiavelli observed this and concluded, he who builds on the love of men builds on the wind. Love shifts, fear endures. Politics is a theater of affection, smiles, handshakes, promises of unity. But behind the curtain, every alliance hides a calculation. Machiavelli warned that even the closest companions, lovers, friends, advisors, will turn when fortune changes. He said, men love at their own convenience, but fear at yours. That's why the wise ruler uses love, but never depends on it. He accepts loyalty, but tests it. He receives affection, but trusts no one who offers it too eagerly. Because love in politics is rarely pure. It's a mask for ambition. History, Machiavelli believed, punishes sentiment. He wrote of kings who showed mercy out of love and were repaid with rebellion, of princes who spared their enemies and saw their thrones crumble within a year. To him, compassion without strategy was suicide. He called it softness of the soul, the disease of rulers who forget that power is not maintained by emotion, but by control. Those who seek to be loved lose respect, and those who lose respect lose everything. Here's where Machiavelli's genius turns dark. He didn't just warn against love, he taught how to use it. He wrote that a skilled leader should appear loving, merciful, honest, but only as performance. Love, he said, should be a mask worn to disarm others. You use it to draw enemies close before you strike. A prince must learn how not to be good and to use goodness when it serves him. To Machiavelli, love was never sacred. It was strategy. We think this belongs to the past, but look closer. Modern politics runs on the same deception. Smiling leaders promise unity while dividing in secret. Corporations sell care while exploiting behind closed doors. Even friendships in power circles exist not out of loyalty, but leverage. Machiavelli would smirk if he saw today's world. He'd say, nothing has changed, only the costumes have. In a world ruled by manipulation, love is still the most beautiful lie. Machiavelli never said to hate, he said to control. The ruler who cannot be cruel when needed is like a lion who refuses to hunt. He believed a man must learn the balance between warmth and ruthlessness, to offer affection when it builds influence, to withdraw it when it weakens him, to love strategically, not emotionally. It is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both. That line isn't cruelty, it's realism, because the world punishes those who mistake kindness for power. Machiavelli's final truth is as sharp as a dagger. Love fades, fear endures. He believed the strongest ruler is the one who stands even when affection dies. Because love may bind people for a season, but respect, born of strength, binds them for life. He wrote, men are quicker to offend one who is loved than one who is feared. So when politics demands your heart or your conscience, choose power, because power protects, love exposes. At the end of his life, exiled and scorned, Machiavelli reflected on all he had witnessed. He had seen empires rise through deceit and crumble through emotion. He left behind one bitter truth for all who seek influence: never trust love in politics. Because in the game of power, love is not a bond, it's bait. And those who mistake affection for loyalty will always fall to those who weaponize it. Men sooner forget the death of their father than the loss of their inheritance. So remember Machiavelli's lesson. Do not seek to be loved, seek to be respected, and never, ever let love make you blind. This is Silent Echoes, and this was Machiavelli's lesson on deception.